But we have read already. These are what are the signs and symptoms will come out of a devotee who is a lover of God. And the definition of that devotion has been given by different sages, as we have read. Parasar Rishi, Vyasa is Parasar Rishi's son, whose name is Vyasa. He has said that the characteristics of the devotion will be like that. Bhakti, what does it mean? Bhakti means one will feel attraction for puja, worship, and bhajan, singing, prayers like this. That was verse number 16. 17, the another opinion of another sage of the Bhakti school, his name was Garga. And he said, Katha Dishu iti Gargaha, meaning Katha means stories, divine play of whom? Of God. The baby Rama, Rama stories, Krishna stories, Christ stories, like Buddha's stories, Buddha, where he went, where he did, what's it. So devotional school thinks that that is itself is a spiritual progress. If you feel attracted to Katha Adishu, that means when there is a discussion going on, or the stories of their holy life is explained, and one feels attraction to go for listening to those things, then you know that your bhakti is growing in you. It's like that your attract. Where is your attraction? No, people go according to their own inner feeling to things what they like it. No, when there is music, people go for music concert whole night. No, if there are some big scholarly discussion comes, some people run for that. That is their attraction. Similarly, a spiritual devotee will be how he will be attracted. Attracted towards what? Attracted towards the katha, and stories about the anecdotes, about the life, tidbits of the child life of God, incarnated God. So that was Garga Rishi. Sandilya Rishi, on the verse number 18, last, just before this, he said, Atmarati abhire abhirodena iti. Atmarati. That means, rati means love. Love for what? Atman, the self, Atmarati. It can be explained, self, we will say self is Brahman, Vedantic self. You may say self is, who is myself? My heart and soul and self is God, Rama, Krishna, Christ, Rama, Krishna, Buddha. So they Shiva. So for Atmarati means the stand, attraction, love for that Atman. What? Without prejudice. Without prejudice, Abhirodha means there is no birod, objection. My flow of love goes this way, there is no obstacle in that. No one comes to hinder that. If that is called the without prejudice, that is called the Sandilya as love. So according to Sandilya, bhakti or devotion is to God's oneself, is to God as one's own self. He is my soul. He is my real self. This body is mine. It is not mine, but it belongs to him. So he is my soul, he is myself. And renouncing every other prejudices to the path of devotion. Uh, so this has been defined by the sage Sandilya. So you got the three opinions of three sages. Now today we are reading what Narada thinks about that. It is Narada's Bhakti Sutra. So what he thinks about it, he as if has comprehended all these three ideas together. So he says, Naradastu, but Narad what he does? Tadarpito akhilo acharata. Tat means to that. Arpito means surrendering to him. Surrendering to God, tat arpito. His achara. Achara means his day-to-day behavior. His sitting, standing, talking, walking, interacting, all will be related in centering that self. Naradastu. Akhilo acharata. You're sleeping, you are talking, your jokes, your fun, anything, it should be centered around that God and God alone. Tadarpito akhilo acharata. And by those all actions, he remembers God every split second. Every split second, he is absorbed in God and God alone. Like Ramakrishna, you see, there is nothing but God. He's standing, he's sitting, he's walking, he's eating, all centered around Ma, or whatever, Ma, sometimes Rama, sometimes Krishna, because he knows the one person, no? All these different names. So Narada says, but to tadarpito akhilo acharata means surrendering all his activities or her activities to God. There is nothing else than God. His all references are God, all examples are related to God. Everything is purified, sanctified by the touch of God. And Cha, and also not only that, this is the positive side, but sometimes something happens. Someone comes, creates some trouble, or makes him forget about God. If he forgets his God, tad bishmarana. Bishmarana means forget. When that devotee forgets God for a split second, tad bishmarane is forgotten. If for a split second, tad bishmarane parama vyakulata iti, supreme anguish comes. He feels restless, as if he has lost anything, as if someone is panting for breath. No, he feels that type of restlessness. The two sides. One, he is connected. His every movement, every action, all centered around God, 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 Rama, 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 Rama. And his every movement is to remember God. And he perchance forgets God. Tad Bishmarane Paramo Bhyakulata. He will be restless. He will be crazy. He will behave crazy. Or she will behave crazy. So when Mirabai's example, is Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Everything is Krishna. And if Bishmaran, if forgetfulness of Krishna, then she feels she is dead. She is gone. She cannot live anymore. We do pray every time, no? Even moment's separation from thee, O Lord, is like an key 1,000 years.
So if anybody has dementia?
Dementia, we're not talking about dementia. Those who are dementia, if they are a fool, they will remain fool. And if they are intoxicated in God, they will remain intoxicated in God. Dementia is the brain. Brain function works on not it's called the emotion we are talking about. His heart will be panting for that. He will be feeling restless. But dementia, if he forgets God, we are all dementia patient. From morning all now, we are all dementia. How many times we remember God? So in that sense, they will be like us, nothing special. But if really genuine devotee, they will be dementia about the world, but they will be awake in God. Bhagavad Gita says, Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Sanjami. That which is Nisha means night. Eh? That Ya Nisha Sarvabhutanam. The masses, millions of people in the world, yeah, that which is Nisha, that means God. Millions of people, normal people, they are forgetful about God day and night. They are very happy. Who cares for God? Ramakrishna said, who cares for God? But that which is night is day for their illumined soul. Illumined soul, or those lovers of God, they remain awake in that God consciousness. Whether we all remain in the world consciousness. So we are dementia people. So when they are really devotee, they will be awakened in the consciousness. That is the same thing. They will be awakened in the consciousness of God. So, and not only that, what time of bakulata? Bakulata means anguish. Bakulata means restlessness. Chatpatan. Uh, Suppose you panting for breath, as Ramakrishna gave the example. But it will be parama. Parama means supreme. You cannot believe that type of thing. Ramakrishna, what happened? Look at that. That is the parama bakulata. This, if you read the scripture, you won't understand. You read the life of Ramakrishna parallelly, then you find it. Ramakrishna used to, just when the sun is setting, whole day he is calling upon Mother, doing meditation, prayer, and worship, all centered around Ma, 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 Ma. At the end of the day, he used to say, Oh, Mother, today is also gone, uselessly. You have not appeared before me. And then, saying so, like a child used to fall down in the ground on the sandy bed of Ganga and used to rub his face, and it will bleed like that. All these cheeks will be bleeding. That is called Bakulata, Paramo Bakulata. It's a foolishness. Some people used to think, we read in the Great Master, they say, some people, passers by, those who see, he was a young boy, 20, 21, 19, 20, 21. What we do in 19, 20, 21 in our life. And see what Ramakrishna is doing. And rubbing, and others will think, he's a young boy, he's small. In those days, 19, 17, 18 years boy is a very child, or innocent. I say, he's away, maybe from his homeland. That's why he's feeling ma, ma, ma. So he is thinking about his earthly mother. That's why he is crying. Or he may have some stomach pain, uh, colic pain. They call colic pain. Because of the colic pain, he is crying. People sometimes do know. They cannot, the pain is so severe, so they cry and say, ma, 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 ma. So it is like that. That is called the Parama Vyakulata. It's not a matter of joke. Bhakti is easy. According to that, if you have this, then you have bhakti. That is how much a student is crying for God, weeping for God, feeling the anguish of separation, pain, as if a moment's separation, as if appearing, it's unbearable. So that is the once it is happened like that when Holy Mother, after Ramakrishna passed away, and Holy Mother went on a pilgrimage, and then she was on the Vrindavan, and Mother used to get sometimes intoxicated in the mood like that, and she was very, she was so shy and hiding like that, but in that mood she'll be running like, Krishna, 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 like that, as if he's seeing something and trying to catch him. And sometimes run, and her associates will run to catch hold of her to make her restful. So this restlessness is. Anyhow, so this verse says, Naradastu, but tu means but, Narada, according to Narada, what happens, what is bhakti? Tad arpito. Tat means in God, whatever may be your God, Krishna, Rama, Buddha, Krishna, and Jishu, whatever, our Ramakrishna, Holy Mother. Tat arpito, and offering your all akhilo acharata, all types of behavior, sleeping, eating, interacting, talking to people, one any type of minor activities going on whole day, all centered around God, 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 God. They repeat the mantra, their mind is absorbed in that. No other thought they can relish. They cannot relish other thoughts. It will be like a breathless situation if someone is put into that condition. They will feel that type of separation. Surrender all activities to God, and tat vismarane, if he is forgotten, if God is forgotten, then parama extreme bakulata, anguish, it will have, thus manyate. But that's why Narada says. So Swamiji has explained on page 59, this translated as how it says that Narada gives these are the signs of bhakti. What are that? When all thoughts, all words, and all deeds are given up to the Lord, and when the least forgetfulness of God makes one intensely miserable, then love has begun. Only love has begun. Now we think we are all devotees. How big we are. How our love for God is flowing. Point is that this you have to remember. This is the definition of bhakta according to Narada. So after quoting the definitions of bhakti given by different sages on page 59, Narada sums up by harmonizing all these definitions of bhakti in this one verse. In short, Narada emphasizes complete surrender as bhakti. What he's saying, you surrender yourself totally, nothing but God. And your life has no other aim, no other meaning, no other principle, no other achievement, no other goal, only God. Surrender. This ideal of surrender, self surrender, includes every kind of spiritual discipline. When that comes, your meditation will be only for God. If one can live in that context day and night, mind will be going nowhere. Where shall it go? Go only God. All your karma will be service to God. Work is worship. Swami Vivekananda's ideal of karma yoga is what? Work and worship as we do. Whole day we are doing work and then coming to the shrine and doing some bhakti. So work and worship. And means two separate things. Gradually, you do karma in such a way as if I am serving God, as if I am serving Ramakrishna. I am sweeping, it is Ramakrishna. I am cooking, it is Ramakrishna. It is serving someone with food or some other thing, it is Ramakrishna. So concept is changed. It is all karma goes like that. Karma is becoming as if I am doing puja, as if I am performing worship. Now go more intensely. Then what it will happen? Karma becomes your puja. Karma becomes your upasana. That means karma is your worship. Karma itself is worship. So that's why it is the spiritual discipline. Surrender includes every kind of spirit. Every kind of spiritual, it is jnana, karma, yoga, bhakti, all are included here. Why? If your mind is flowing for only Rama, 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 or Krishna, then no one is higher in your life. And what is the Vedanta teaches? Brahman alone is truth. All else is false. So to devotee who thinks that my Krishna is the everything, my Rama is the everything, and nothing else, in their eyes, a whole world disappears. They have no value. Prime value is only Rama or Krishna. So they say Vedanta, what Vedanta teaches? Brahman alone is real, all else is false. Because false, that's why mind does not go to the false things. Mind goes to the real thing. So real, only real, what is real? My Krishna is only real. My Rama Krishna is only real. My mother is the only reality. So that means in this sadhana, this Narada's definition says that if you can develop this type of bhakti as defined, that's the goal of us. And that will make you a perfect yogi, perfect jnani, perfect bhakta, perfect kurmi. So this is the meaning. Swami Prabhupada continues. In the first place, self-surrender means, what self-surrender means? It means constant recollectedness of God. When you offer your mind and soul to someone, you dare not think of that person. You love a girl, or a girl loves a boy, dare not think of each other. There is no other thought. All other thoughts are pushed away. No one will have to teach, hey, don't think of other things. Their mind will be only going in uninterruptedly. It is as similarly, if God is the subject, it will happen the same way. Miscreants, those who want to do harm for somebody, planning for day and night, how to do some harm. Day and night they're thinking in that thought. See, one pointed thought. So self-surrender means constant recollectedness of God. As Swami Vivekananda said, seek not God, but see Him. That means everywhere seeing God. Your mind will be always connecting with anything you see, anything you hear, anything you touch, anything you taste, anything you breathe. It will remind you of God, 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 God. Huh? That is the surrender, state of surrender. Surrender means you have no existence, only God exists. God is omnipresent. The moment you think of God, convince yourself that you are actually in His presence. God is everywhere. Why not you prepare your mind that whatever I see, I am seeing God, though I am not capable of understanding it, but I am seeing Him. Someone gives you one sweet meat, no? You do not know what's the name of the sweet meat, but or something very delicious, no? When you taste it, it is the same. So if you know the name and its quality, that's good. If you don't know, it matters little. Your taste will be same. Enjoy the taste. So similarly, surrender gives one that it is no question of seeking comes because God, seeing God. This is a very clear subject and deep subject though. To see God and not to seek God. We are seeking God as if God is not here. God is in some forest, in some deep jungle, and hiding in one corner of a uh, mountain, and suddenly one day he will appear there. But God is everywhere, every moment. So then why not you see? Means make your mind ready to think. It is God, it is God, it is God. Bhaktas do it very spontaneously. They say Krishna Mai Jagat. Harimai Vishwa Kuriva Darshan Lutaivo Pada Padaraji. Yes. Vishnu. The Thakur sang this song. Hari Moy Vishwa, Koribo Darshan. I will see Hari, the Lord. It is permeated with Hari everywhere, wherever I put my glance. So he says that God is omnipresent. The moment you think of God, convince yourself that you are actually in His presence. Then the long for Him, then long for Him and pray to Him that He may reveal Himself to you. Swami Sarvadevananda, a disciple of Ramakrishna, used to tell us often what he used to say. Pray earnestly day and night with anguish in your heart that you may have devotion to Him. Huh? Pray with anguish. We pray. Whatever we pray, but my mind goes somewhere else. No anguish. Yeah, we are talking about the artificial intelligence. No? You write something in the phone or something, text messaging, you do some mistake, it will bring some sound, some words. Huh? Even it will correct grammar. Huh? But it has any emotion in it? Will it have any feeling there? No, it's a machine. So we are acting through machine. There is a neuron, there is brain cells, and they're reacting, spark coming and on reaction, neurosystem. This is the mechanical thing. But here is the heart. So it is called pray, that emotion. We do prayer, we do puja. It's all superficial. Whatever we do, we don't dive deep. There is no emotion. The emotion, if it is there, you will be fortunate, you will feel blessed. From morning till now, what you have done for anyone, as I say, you give a glass of water, you'll feel that, I serve God. What a fortune for me. Huh? So, but if that heart and connection is not there, it is a torture. I am to give a glass of water. What nonsense, can he not take it? Why am I to put the jar on the dining table? Huh? Make right? The water jar is not there. Why? I am to do it is his duty. That's a duty, that's a work, that's a struggle, that's a fight. There's nothing to do with spirituality. But when you see that, no, it's my privilege. I am been have the opportunity to serve this to God, not the man. What happens? Our nonsense mind always teaches I am serving this guy who is bad guy. This is the good guy. This is the bad guy. Worst guy. Why shall I do this for this guy? Idiot. Badmas. But what a nonsense you are thinking. You are misusing. You are like a machine. Like a machine, computer. Computer is doing this thing and that thing. Sometimes if you misdirect, then it will get also crash. Or it will fight with something. No? It is these reactions are coming because you have no sense of spirituality there. So devotion will say you are fortunate that you get the opportunity to serve. See, Ramakrishna's disciples and others, look at them when they used to go to do relief work and other disastrous work. They have no food, they have nothing. But day and night constantly they're working and see their face beaming with joy. Because they have the feeling that I am serving God. If it is not, why do you do that? Why do you go to slave? You are not a slave of anybody. And you do, the slave does, hey, you will have to do, otherwise you'll get a whip. Out of fear, I do something. So what nonsense is this? Why do you do in spiritual life? Why can you not bring this idea into your spiritual training? Rather, feel blessed. That's why pray earnestly, day and night, with anguish. That give me this vision, give me this attitude, so that I can live in constant companion with you. Question is, I will be with you if I think I am serving you, not the idiot, not the rascal. And this is a painful thing. Why I shall work? But you add this sweetness in it, you get the touch of God. Your spiritual benefit is happening. Ah. And as much opposite idea is coming, it is taking you away from God. So this is a wonderful idea that Mahapurush Maharaj taught. No, we read it so many places. Every page is when we are reading Mahapurush Maharaj Shivananda. What is that book we read? Seekers of God. That we read last night, night time, not last, but what we finished. There's also in the divine realm. Yeah. In the divine realm, there are this Mahapurush Maharaj teaches this type of prayer. Day and night with anguish in your heart, pray that you may have devotion for him. No? The psalmist, the Psalms, what the Psalms say? 55.17. Evening and morning and at noon will I pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. At least whole day I cannot, but evening and noon and evening and morning I will cry, O Lord, so that he shall hear my voice. It's a little dualistic though, but the spirit is that he will be able to hear my call. That's why in Muslim world, you see, in the morning they give azan. Azan means they call upon God. Allahu Akbar. It's talking about as if Allah, the Lord, is calling upon, and God can hear his voice. So that means you forget the world and cry for God. In the inner meaning is this. In the Gospel, according to Saint Luke, you read, quote, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray. So he said that always a person should keep himself engaged in prayer. St. Paul said, pray without ceasing. So in the whole Christian world, this most emphatic thing is that prayer. And incessant prayer, constant prayer, incessant remembrance. And in our japa, in our tradition, Hindu tradition, we call japa, nirantar japa, incessant repetition of the name of God, so that you think of him more and more. In the words of Sri Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita, what he says, give me your whole heart, love and adore me, worship me always, bow down to me, and you shall find me. This is my promise, who love you dearly. I love you dearly. You do only give your whole heart and soul. Tasmat tvam sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata. O Arjuna, Bharata. Tasmat, therefore, tvam, you, O Arjuna, sarva bhavena, in all your moods and movement, in all your attitudes. Sarva bhavena, on your bhava means all your moods, in all your actions. Sarva bhavena bharata. You take surrender. Saranam gaccha. Take refuge in me. I am the Lord of the universe. You take refuge. And aham tvam, as a result, if you can take refuge in me, don't worry about your past, your misdeeds, your mistakes. Aham tvam, sarva papebho. All types of sins, all types of actions, misdeeds. I will redeem you. Aham tvam sarva papebho mokshayishami. I will release you from all those things. Ma sucha. Don't keep any doubt on that, or don't lay down all your duties. In me, your refuge. Fear no longer, for I will save you from sin and from bondage. These are Bhagavad Gita. So he has quoted from Bhagavad Gita. We get it from the Bible. We get it from the Sri Ramakrishna statement, and Saint Paul said, saints' words, all are emphasizing, call upon God incessantly. Then that is the self-surrender. That is the surrender is talking about, Narada. And Narada's uh, Swami continues, self-surrender also means what? Self-surrender is another idea that the least forgetfulness of God makes one miserable. I love you, but when I forget, I don't care for that. I am very happy. Then you don't love. If you love somebody and you miss for a split second, then you will be restless. But that we find in human love. That's bad though. You become a slave of a person, of a man or a woman, falling in love with beauty, falling in love with mundane thing which will not stay here for the next day. And it will go away one day. But if that love, precious love, is given for God, what would have happened? It will transform the iron into gold. The spiritual life will be flourishing there, full of beauty and joy and grace. Right? And there is quoting the Chaitanya's prayer, as we just remembering in the, just now. He says, "Ah, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Govinda, will be 1,000 years, and my heart burns away with all with its desires, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Shunnaitam jagat sarvam Govinda virahena me." It is Sri Chaitanya's uh, stanzas, 8 stanzas he has created, which says, Shunno, this world is void. It has nothing in this world. That sense will come. So excitement for knowing everything of the world. What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? And there are people who will try to find out if nothing is there, how to bring out some information. I say, kid, great spiritual gift. Run, 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 run. What is this? What is that? What is that? It will be shunnaitam. It's all void for a spiritual seeker. Shunnaitam. Jagat sarvam. The whole universe is meaningless as we grow. Keeping all this rubbish thing of inquisitiveness in the world and wanting to be spiritual. It is just a blasphemy. So it is said that it is how I long for the day. I am craving, oh God, when I shall have that day will come in my life. When an instant separation, blinking of an eye, will appear. Jugaitam nimesham. In Sanskrit, nimesha means blinking. How long it takes to blink? It does not take even a split second. That time, when I close eyes, I don't see. So splitting that split second of time, if I forget God, then I'll feel that my heart burns away with desire and the world becomes merely worthless, void, ashes. So this is the verse. Let me read another explanation from Swami Tyagishananda. Swamiji has said, Narada here gives his own view in this verse 19, what I have said now. It is more comprehensive and points out the very essence of bhakti. Two here means the text draws our attention to different views. Akhilo achara means it implies that Narada does not narrow down the life in the bhakta to rituals only, to chanting only of sacred names and similar activities that are strictly called devotional. He is not restricting. Narada says, any activity you do, anything you are doing, your breathing, your breath should be a prayer for the good of others, blessings for others. So it is Tadvarpita Akhilo Acharata. It's not that when I'm in the shrine I'm offering flower, not I'm plucking the flowers, or I'm not making them sandal paste, or I'm cooking for the Lord. But the rest of the time, be busy, angry guy. It is not like that. Thus, here, this Narada is saying, making holistic, not only in the shrine room, not only in your puja kitchen, not only when you are doing spiritual performance, not that only. Make every bit of your practice of life. So that's why he says, Narada does not narrow down the life of the bhakta only. Who is a bhakta? Who is only in the shrine, who is only in the puja kitchen, who is only doing the kirtan time. No, not all the time. That's why chanting the sacred names and similar activities that are strictly called devotional. People know, oh, he's in the shrine. Oh, he is doing puja. Or in every home, in Indian home, everyone does that home puja. Altar is there, and only I'm spiritual, not there only. They're saying when you come out, how you behave with your family, friends, relations, how you look upon them, that's your spirituality. So, and every action, so sacred namas, and similarly activities that are strictly called devotion. Complete surrender in the prime characteristic of bhakti. Bhakti's characteristic is total surrender. And every action done with this attitude has a due place in devotional life. For self surrender is only another name of what? Of effacement of ego. And any work that is selfless has a place in spiritual life. So he's saying surrender, self surrender to God is only another name of what? Ego crushing. Your ego is gone. You think that I am nothing, God is everything. And I am only serving God. My this life is only to serve God. Only please Him. Bhakta will think my whole stay in the world, in this life, is only to serve God and God and God alone. For self surrender is only another name of effacement of the ego. And any work that is selfless, any work that is selfless has a place in spiritual life. That means spirituality and selflessness goes simultaneously. Paramo means extreme anguish is another sign. Second sign will be you will be restless for God. As you are restless for mundane things, they will be restless for God. Extremes always meet, and the bhaktas feel a great delight when they reach the stage of realization, when the slightest forgetfulness brings the pangs of separation, and consider that was the highest culmination of bhakti. It is not possible for a man of God realization to forget him at any time. This is therefore meant to show that there is no possibility of forgetting him, as the mind is automatically prevented from such forgetfulness by the anguish which he would have to feel if he were to forget him. Eh? How will you forget? Because they cannot forget God, because then they will feel the anguish, separation, and that will be a pain. And here also I read the another explanation. Swami Bhuteshananda Maharaj has read. He says, same 19 verse, I am reading another explanation. This book is Swami Bhuteshanandaji's book. He says, the present sutra, means the verse, gives Narada's own statement, differing from the three earlier definitions. Narada says that all our conduct, all our activities are to be dedicated to God. This is what bhakti is, dedication of all our activities to God. And another point is also mentioned, supreme discontent when we forget Him. These two aspects are included in the definition given by Narada. First one is that all our activities are to be dedicated to the feet of God. That is, whatever we do should be by way of service to God. Even our ordinary activities are to be dedicated to God. Even our ordinary activities are to be dedicated to God. Everything has to be offered to God. The second one is, it is not enough to say that we are dedicating all our activities. So a caution is there. If we forget Him, then we shall feel extreme agony, the mental agony that is caused by our forgetfulness of God. We are very happy. Tell me how many moments you have forgotten from morning till now. Where is any anguish? Where is any agony, mental I'm feeling? Ah ha ha! I forgot him for such a long time. Huh? Who is thinking agony of that? Rather, will be agony for material thing, for nonsense things. So, the mental agony that is caused by our forgetfulness of God, that is what is called devotion. This intense suffering that comes when we forget God, that we feel we are away from Him, is elaborated in the Bhagavata, in the conduct of the gopis. There it is said that the gopis had not seen Krishna for the whole day during the time he had gone out for the grazing of the cows. So when he returns, the baby Krishna is a cowherd boy. He was grazing his cows. So these gopis who love, the pure love, had not seen Krishna whole day. So when they come back, he returned. They just wanted to keep him before their eyes so that there might not be a moment even when they lost sight of him. It is said that when there was a winking of the eyes, they would be annoyed with the eyes. Hey, why the eye? You're blinking. Stop. Why not keep your eyes always open? But the eye normally does winking. So he gets mad with their own winking. It is said that when there is a winking of the eyes, they would be annoyed with the eyes. That was because if the eyes winks, a moment is lost. They felt that the Creator who created this winking must be absolutely without any idea of how much suffering it may cause to a devotee. Eh? A moment looked like a yuga cycle, that losing sight of God even for a moment appeared as if the sight was lost for an age. That is the intensity shown there. And that intensity of love is the true test of devotion. Really, we can touch here in our heart and see what is happening here. How much I am really feeling that separation, that anguish, that agony, that pain at all. If you feel more, you are great. No, don't have to tell anybody. You know your heart. You know yourself more than anyone. Others will misjudge. Others will miscalculate. But you cannot misjudge yourself. You know how much 24 hours is there from morning till now, 5:29 or 25 now. How many times I feel any. Do I feel any time any anguish that I have forgotten God? I'm quite happy. Happy with food, happy with talking, happy with criticizing, happy with jumping, louding, watching this, watching that. Happy, 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 happy. There is no question of anguish. There is no question of agony. Okay, that's good, but that's not devotion. So two things are to be mentioned. As long as we leave, all our activities are to be directed towards Him, to serve Him and to please Him. In the absence of His thought in mind, we feel intense pain. That is what bhakti is. Bhakti, therefore, does not mean all happiness. We wrongly think that bhakti will give me only joy. If you love, the love's path is very painful. That's the point. Many people think that joy, love is joy. No. But when real joy comes and real bhakta, it is not so easy. It is always a pain. How long you be together? When you are together, you are happy. A little separation, and someone comes in between. You are angry with that person who comes. You will be criticizing that person. Why he is there? Why he comes here? Why? That will, it is a spontaneous thing. You have no choice of it. You will have to have it if you love someone. So if we love God, it will happen the same way. But we don't love God, that's why you don't feel anyway. That's okay. We are happy with other things. So long we are happy with other things, what is the need of God? If other thing can satisfy me, then I don't need God. No, it will give intense pain also. There is not merely joy, but pain is also there. The pain, the suffering is so intense that it cannot be compared to any other suffering. And only the bhaktas can understand. We don't understand. Ramakrishna could understand. All the mystics, Christian mystics, you find. What is saint? What is that? Flame. I forgot the name. He was feeling like the gopis, the pain of separation for Christ. What is the name of the saint? I don't remember. The pain, the suffering is so intense that it cannot be compared to any other suffering. Of course, the joy also cannot be compared to anything other joy. That's why people like Vedanta. Not that much intense love and intense pain. Intense love, intense pain. Bhakti has a pangs of separation. You call it separation anxiety. Love, union, and separation anxiety. So you have to happen too, because you are in duality. Vedanta does not like that. This again love and again separation. This is all the time. That's a shama. Shanto. Shanta mood is the sannyasi's mood. They don't want to dwell, swing into these two moods. They want to see oneness, the same similar idea all the time. Not this, not this, not throw away everything. And only that truth is truth. Here also that is coming in a different way, but this path has a little duality always has a joy, and joy has its opposite pain. But this pain is not like worldly pain. It has this pain though, but it is internally. The gopis, they used to say that biraha, that is in outside. People outside say that he is crying for God and weeping. But internally, he's feeling the touch of God inside. This joy cannot be compared to any other joy. Both joy as well as suffering are the extreme nature of a devotee for a devotee. When he is in contact with God and his activities are directed to him, he is happy. But the moment the mind forgets him, it causes him intense pain, and it is not unnatural that such moments may come in the life of a devotee. And it can become so severe that Ramakrishna is going to kill himself. Separation. Ma, are you not going to give me your vision? Are you there? Are you not there? It becomes suicidal. Of course, that does not, no one have died. We didn't hear that someone killed himself for a suicidal case. Though they try to, pangs of separation cannot be experienced. I tell you one story of Swami Premeshananda. Swami Premeshananda, who is a great Swami of our order, he used to do one time intense spiritual practice. And one day, he then said that I'm doing so many days and Sri Ramakrishna, you are not there for me. And what is the use of life? He becomes so, this separation becomes such a pain and a disgust for the body also. So he created his cloth tied with the beam and then tried to hang himself into suicide, commit suicide. So then he said, okay, Sri Ramakrishna, now my last salutation, and all these arranged, and he wants to go to tie himself and hang on. And as he was doing like that, in a flash came that experience. Arupa Shayore Leela Lahori. That song, which is the Maharaj, Swami Brahmananda used to go to Samadhi. That song was composed on this background. He experienced that infinite ocean of joy and love. And that from that wave of love has taken a form of Ramakrishna. That's a famous song. Mahapurush Maharaj used to say, he who has composed this song he is blessed. He who will listen this song, he is blessed. He who will sing this song, he will be blessed. That was Swami Shivananda Maharaj's comment about this song. And see, anguish can go to that. But at that end of anguish is not suicidal. There comes the vision. These are examples. I do not know. We have no touch of that divine love in us. But we can hear what is gone in their life. And then at the end of anguish, realization comes. Say, Mirabai, what she did. She tested so many things. She was tested by to fire squad and given poison to drink, etc., etc. No? But what miracle! She didn't die because of poisoning. She didn't die because of the putting in front of the gun. Something else makes them so much different that they're absolutely filled with joy. So when such moments come, his suffering is inexpressible, incomparable with anything else. The life of a devotee is a mixture of joy and sorrow, but of extraordinary intensity. This is Narada's definition of devotion. Now, for such a devotee, it is not necessary to practice japa or meditation in the formal way. If you have that developed love, that intense love has developed, an intense separation feeling comes, so you need not have to do any more japa. Who will do japa? You have gone above all those situations. His whole life is immersed in God. So the question of formal practice of religion does not arise in his case. Certain forms of spiritual practice have been prescribed in the Bhagavatam by the sage Kapila in this form of his spiritual instruction to his mother Devahuti. There he says, one's own duties are to be performed. The duties may be the daily duties or duties that arise of a special occasion. Hymns are to be sung. There should be observance of activities that do not cause harm to others. We should think of God as residing in all beings. We should seek the company of the holy men. We should show great respect to people who are spiritually great. Towards those who are inferior in this regard, we should have mercy upon them, sympathy and compassion. Towards people who are equal to us, there should be friendship, and a devotee should observe restraint of his passions and control of his mind. He should be devoted. He should devote his time to hearing God's praise and singing his glory. He should be straightforward. He should be unattached to things of the world. He should be free from pride. Now, remember all these points and try to follow. Will you remember the points? How many points you did? A simple thing is remember God is much easier, is it not? Take the name of Lord, that is much easier. But all these instructions are given preliminary stage. So, and when through the practice of such things, all these practices, do your duty, perform your daily routine, special occasion, do this fasting, puja, etc., chant this hymn, sang this song, think of the God residing in, don't think of anyone, but think that God is in the heart of all. We should seek the company of the holy men, should great respect for other people, respect to people who are spiritually great. Of course they are great, we should respect. But those who are little substandard, don't hate them, but with compassion. Look at them. These are the instructions of the Bhagavat, not Gita, Bhagavat. And when through the practice of such things, such practices, the mind is purified, then when he hears God's name, immediately his mind gets merged in God. So that is the point. We have to practice where we are, but the definition of bhakti, it is not so easy. To be a bhakta is not so easy. To be a jnani is not so easy. That we know. Apatato, adhigato, apilo, vedartho, asmin janmani, janmantareva, Kamma, Nishiddha, Varjana, Purusharam. You have read all these things in your what? Vedanta Sara. You have to read this scripture, read the whole Vedas, understand its meaning. Do all these things, it will go on life. And then you are to Viveka, discriminating person, Vairagya, a person of renunciation. Then you will go for Mumukshatva, to get freedom or freedom from bondage. No? After so many things. No, it is so hard. Vedanta is so hard. But what about bhakti? It is this bhakti is that parama vyakulata, intense restlessness and intense love for God. That will be. So we end here 19 and we'll read some next day, maybe the verse number 20, where it says that is there any such example? You are giving this type of talk, intense bhakti, intense renunciation, intense detachment, surrender, surrender. Is there any such thing? Well, yes, there are examples. You are talking, it's only fictitious words, high sounding words, or there we find in the history there are people like this. Can you tell us? Next verse, Narada will say, Osti evam evam, Osti. Yes, there are cases, there are examples who have got this type of love. What we are describing now in the verse number 19, what we read today. So we'll read 20 next day. Okay? So let me see some question for a few minutes. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from a sinful function. Do not fear. Yeah, that's true. That's the main message of Bhagavad Gita. But it is not a matter of joke to do that. Abandon all varieties of religion. Varieties of religion is only one religion, love God. And if you love God, you will don't like anything in the world. And if you don't love the other world, that is the renunciation. Nothing confusion. It is not saying only love God means you get attached to the world and love God. But they are talking about love God means forget the world. The Vedanta says not this, not this, not this, not this. But what is? Satchidananda is. And Krishna is Satchidananda. Rama is Satchidananda. So there is no confusion in that. So God will take care if religion means religion of love or love God. What Walt Whitman said something like, be not curious about God, for I, who am curious about everything, am not curious about God. Wonderful. Yes, that's the Walt Whitman's beautiful statement. Thank you for quoting that. Again, I'm reading, be not curious about God. Whitman said, be not curious about God, for I, who am curious about everything, am not curious about God. Those who are curious about knowing the whole world, they don't care for God. God is not a subject of them. They don't know what is this, what is that, what is this, what is that. All the external world is full of information. And you extract the information. You be a Google search engine. You may be Google engine. And you lean in the engine only. There is no heart, there is no freedom, there is no love, there is no development. So that's true. Again, I'm hearing another is a question. You mentioned Mirabai in today's talk. Do you have a favorite poem of Mirabai composition that communicates the heart of bhakti? Which is your favorite poem by Mirabai? Oh, Mirabai, many beautiful poems. What is the song I sing also? Mere to, this, there is song. The साधन करना चाहिए रे मनवा, भजन करना चाहिए, प्रेम लगाना चाहिए रे मनवा, प्रीत करना चाहिए, साधन करना चाहिए, नीत नहान से हरि मिले तो बहुत जल जंतु है फल मूल खा के हरि मिले तो बहादुर बदराय साधन करना चाहिए रे मनुआ भजन करना चाहिए प्रेम करना चाहिए रे मनुआ प्रीत करना चाहिए. What Mirabai says, that love God. You have to fall in love with God and to connect with Him by love. Sadhan, and you have to do spiritual practice. Sadhan karna chahiye manuma, bhajan karna, sing the name, chant the name of the Lord, bhajan karna chahiye. Preeta karna chahiye, to create a feeling of connection and love for God. Preeta karna chahiye. Need, and you take, purify yourself, you go to Ganga or to holy river and dip. If you are by dipping that you can get this prema, this love for God, then there are many crocodiles and fish and everyone. They live in the water day and night, in the same Ganga water. No? We bring little Ganga water, sprinkle in the puja time. No? We feel we are pure. Huh? If that is so, only living in the Ganga will do that, then all the crocodiles and fish and sharks and everyone will realize God fast. Huh? And you see, oh, I am a spiritual person. I don't take fish. I don't take meat. I don't take egg. I'm harder than you. Then phalamula kha ke hari mile to badura badrai. The birds and bats and they eat only roots and fruits. So they would have realized God by eating only vegetarian food. Mirabai saying, what to do? Prem lagana chahiye manua. Oh my mind, you'll have to fall in love with God. Preeta karna chahiye. How you can connect yourself with the love, that is to be done. Sadhan karna chahiye. Do your japa, do your meditation, do your sincerely, feel the pangs of separation. These are necessary. So anyhow, I sang only one song, but there are wonderful songs. Okay, thank you.
One more question is, what is the difference between bliss and Anandamaya kosha?
Bliss is absolute, which is beyond bliss. Anandamaya kosha. It's not connected with our study, but is Vedanta study. But anyhow, suppose there is the infinite ocean of joy, and you are there. You cannot say it is joy, it is sorrow, it is suffering. Nothing can be. It is only that. But when you come one step down, a kosha means a covering. When you feel that through another layer of ignorance, first layer of ignorance, it is called Anandamaya kosha, where you can enjoy. You are separate, bliss is there, and with a thin layer of separation. Difference. In one sense, it is separate from me. Another sense, it is, I can feel that. Then heat. You go to close to the bulb and touch that. Ananda is the heat in the bulb. You can see from a distance, you can see that bulb is there. You can see the glow of light is there from distance. But to Anandamaya kosha is like touching the bulb. Still you feel the heat, but that is not extreme. Extreme heat is inside. Break that outer covering, then you can go. So Anandamaya kosha is the last covering to be united with the Absolute. If that is broken, then you become Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. So Anandamaya kosha is a one covering through which you enjoy the bliss, with a separation of clear, pure sattvika covering. That is, normally we all feel that when we go Anandamaya kosha every day, when you go to deep sleep. But people can meditate, go deeper, and stand there. That's the place, Savikalpa Samadhi, the state of Samadhi, which is not Nirvikalpa, but one step down. Anyhow, thank you all.
Thank you.
So we'll hope to see you again at 7:30 and in our class, what is called the Nectar of Supreme Knowledge. And we are almost there at the end of the chapter, 10th chapter. No? Okay, then we'll have to think what we are going to study next. Shanti Gita, but that is available. Can we make it available to everyone? Okay, then we'll send it. The book is not purchasable, I do not know. We'll see. We'll send you the link. That is Gita. Shanti. Shanti, we need Shanti now. Peace. Much peace is necessary. Eh? Shanti, Gita. It's also Gita. Gita means Bhagavad Gita. We know the Bhagavad Gita. That is also who said those words of Bhagavad Gita? Krishna. So this also Shanti Gita. It is also message of Krishna to Arjuna when his son died, was killed. The great warrior Abhimanyu was killed by the 7 warriors, big warriors, in the war of Kurukshetra. So then, naturally, Arjuna got so much lost because only one son, only one the brightest son is dead. So he was totally lost. And that time, Krishna gave some advice. So that's called Shanti Gita. So we'll read that.
Separate from the Bhagavad Gita?
Bhagavad Gita, it is not, no, it is not Bhagavad Gita. It is Krishna said so many things, no? Uddhava Gita, we read that Uddhava Gita. Once we studied Uddhava Gita. So whatever Krishna says, that becomes Gita. In different contexts, they have different names.
What is the meaning of Gita?
Huh?
What is the meaning of the word Gita?
Oh, Gita. Gita, it comes from Gita. Gita means music.
Music.
Gita is somewhere, it is like a musical approach to spirit, but giving solace and peace to the scorching soul. As the music gives some peace to people and joy to people, so Gita is always like that. Okay, Jai Thakur. We end. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.